What's going on, guys? JP Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday. And for today's gameplay, we have an Adventure Springs versus a Sword Soul, with my opponent playing Sword Soul going first. Now, disclaimer, this dude is the absolute worst Sword Soul player I have ever seen in my history in Master Duel, okay? This is a Diamond 2 gameplay, I believe. This guy wasn't Diamond 2, and he played the way he did. See why I say he's the worst Sword Soul player in the history. This guy starts off with an immersion search for Moye. We're good so far. Moye activate shows me that he has a Dara in his hand. Keep this in mind, okay? He shows us he has a Dara in his hand. Now keep in mind I have no cards in my hand I can use to interact with my opponent's combo whatsoever. No disruptions, nothing. He gets a token. Standard combo goes into Grandmaster, Grandmaster Chainlink 1, Moye Chainlink 2. Now, usually, on the resolution of this, the Grandmaster will search for Longyan, and if you have a Longyan, you search for Blackout. That's the usual play Sword Soul players go for, because that way they will be able to put either a Sovereign or a Sinister Sovereign or a Baronne on the field, whichever card they want to go into, right? That's the usual play. Watch what this guy does. Moye draws him a card, and with the Grandmaster, he searches for another copy of Moye. Now, this is only possible if you have the Longyan plus the Blackout in your hand already, right? You could still do this. You could be setting up for your next turn, granted. But this guy just sets down a card, passes his turn. Hard pass, okay? Hard pass. This is why I said this was the absolute worst Sword Soul player I have ever seen in Master Duel. Did not search for Longyan, did not search for Blackout, and let me tell you this right now, this card that he set on the field was not even a Blackout. This guy did not hard draw a Blackout. The card that he set on the field turned out to be Imperm. That is how bad the opponent is. And this is Diamond 2, guys. Diamond 2! How is this possible? So with this, me and my chat, we were just going, bro, what happened? What just happened? We all had question marks on our head, in our mind, and with this play, like, I have nothing to say for this play anymore. With that, I go into my draw phase, draw into a skill drain. Now, obviously, since I have the Enchantress in my hand, the most obvious play is that you use the Enchantress to try to bait out your opponent's Ash Blossom or any other hand traps they want to throw at the Enchantress. They do not know you already have a right in your hand. So we activate the Enchantress, and it actually baits out a Ghost Bell. This guy, let me tell you, was straight up seeing yellow and clicking yellow, okay? The first pop-up that comes up, this guy hit yellow on it. So Ghost Spell on the Enchantress, we don't care much for it. Even though we have a call by, we're going to save it. We already have a right in our hand. I'm going to activate right. This dude Maxis me. So obviously we have to call by the grave the Maxi. Can't let the Maxi go through. So it resolves. Now this guy does not have another Ghost Spell in his hand to negate my call by the grave. Call by the grave goes through. That means Maxi is negated. We get our full Prank Hits combo along with the Adventure Engine. I get my token. Token comes face up attack. Keep in mind, turn 2, we could attack. I'm gonna straight away search for my Griffin right here. I do not commit my normal summon to the play. Because keep in mind, guys, we still don't know, like, even though I told you this card was Imperm, I did not know at that point whether this card was Imperm or a Blackout. Because if this card was a Blackout, he could have chose to use the Blackout right now, pop both my token and my Faithful Adventure. So he uses Ash Blossom on my Griffins, which I'm like, okay, no worries. We're okay with that as well. So we got out Ash Blossom, Maxi, and Ghost Bell from the opponent. With that, I now commit my normal summon to the play, thinking that I have no more plays afterwards, so might as well commit my normal summon. With normal summon, I even activate my Faithful Adventure to search me for the Draco back. Now keep in mind, guys, this dude has already blown his Ash Blossom for this turn, so we are not worried about Ash Blossom happening. What I was worried about, however, was again, this card being a Blackout. He would have already used it if it was a Blackout, so no reason to think this is a Blackout now. The choices were between Imperm, Forbidden Droplet, and I believe a Call by the Grave. I assumed it could be a Call by the Grave. If I send my fans to the graveyard, he could Call by the Grave me, which would end my combo. Did not want to deal with that. That's the reason why I put Draco back on the field. Again, safe from Ash Blossom. We're going to use the Draco back, bounce whatever that card was. Again, afterwards, I know that it turns out to be an Imperm. We get our graveyard activation of Fancies, pitch our copy of Pranks, go into Doodly-Doo. We're going to activate the graveyard chain block with our Doodle-Doo. With this Doodle-Doo, obviously it's going to get negated. We already know that Grandmaster Negate on the field was coming up. I already had this in the whole picture in my head when I was going to do my combo. That's the whole reason we pitch our Pranks, because we're going to go into our Predaplan Verte anyways to go into the Butler to pop our opponent's Grandmaster on the field. Because if the Grandmaster stays on the field, we will not be able to get 2 Butler pops. Now keep in mind, what I thought, that was my thought process at that time, but I changed my thought process towards the end of my combo. I started to think, since I have Skill Drain in my hand, what I will do is that I'll set down my Skill Drain and I will just recycle out my Miamu. Because we know that this guy has a Moye in his hand. Moye plus Adara in his hand. So he's gonna activate the Moye and show Adara to go into his combo. He has to come in normal summon unless he has Ecclesia. So I know two cards in his hand, and I don't know the other card, but at this point I'll tell you guys, it's the card we bounced, which is the Imperm. And so at this point we know all 3 cards in our opponent's hand, and we're just thinking maybe top deck something that he could use, but it's whatever, we have Skill Drain active on the field, right? And if worst comes to worst, we'll use our Butler to pop the opponent's field once. So we go into our Butler, I'm going to go into my battle phase, whack the opponent's Grandmaster, then hit him with the token and the Predaplan Verte for 2.5, and then set down Skill Drain and end my turn. With the Pranks recycle, at this point you guys are seeing, I am going to recycle out my Miamu, okay? I chose to recycle Miamu because I'm thinking, again, Skill Drain should take care of the Moye normal summon into token, and afterwards if he goes into Long Yawn or something, we could just use our Butler, pop the opponent's field once and be done with it. Our opponent will not be able to push past the field. That's what my whole assumption was. So I recycle out my Miamu, my Doodly-Doo, both my copies of Doodly-Doo. I keep my Bow Wow in the graveyard, however. So in case he draws into a Kaiju or runs a Kaiju or Lava Golem and he hits my Butler, I'll be able to special out the Bow Wow tribute itself, target 2 prank his names in the grave, add them to my hand, so I'll be able to combo on my next turn. With that, the opponent draws a card, he imperms the Butler, so as you guys saw, the card I knew for a fact was an imperm because once I killed out the Grandmaster, my opponent's side of the field highlighted, so that just gives it away that the card in his hand was an imperm. Afterwards, after he imperms my Butler, he normals out Moye and shows the Adara, to which I just flip over my Skill Drain. Seeing this, the opponent just says, you know what, GG's, I'm done with the game, I don't want to play the game anymore. So that is why I said this guy was the worst player, okay? That's it for today's game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank video uploads, and if you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPBduel signing out for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!